What's going on, everybody? This is Brad from the Rules of Villainy podcast, coming at you one last time with a set championship review from the greater St. Louis area. Most stores have big Memorial Day sales. In St. Louis on Memorial Day weekend, we have 7 set championship tournaments. So that means I actually have 8 decks to show you today. I think this is the biggest one, so why not end the Archazia's Island set championship review with the biggest video yet. So if you've watched the videos from this entire set, thank you for sticking around and tuning into those. This has been a lot of fun doing. If you're new here, this is a video series where I just broadcast the latest and greatest in Disney Lorcana competitive decks week to week here in St. Louis, and hope that you enjoy. So let's move into the very first deck. All right, first and foremost, I want to give a special shout out to the second place winner at Fortuna Games that fired off at 10 people. As I mentioned, we had 7 tournaments on the day, so a lot of the attendance is going to be spread out, unfortunately. But we did get to fire at Fortuna Games, and second place went to our buddy Nive from Nive's Nerd Corner. Came all the way over from Central Missouri to play in St. Louis and visit the Rules of Villainy and just have some good fun at one of our OG stores. Taking down second place, I was in the top 4 with him, both with a Jaflurple deck, trying to have a Jaflurple mirror match for the finals. It didn't come to be, but I want to give a special shout out to him. Check out his channel. I'll have a link to it in the description below. As we are approaching the Reign of Jafar in just a few days, he very likely has some new sealed events, new limited event content for you to check out, or some past content that will help you understand some lines of thinking when it comes to the sealed and limited format. So definitely check that out. Here's his Jaflurple list. He did better than me, advancing into the finals, incorporating the foxes I don't have in mine, and a few extra things, an extra Sea Witch Queen. Only 3 of the big Jafars, which I see a lot of decks have been running lately, but he ran it masterfully, and just in the final game, not only did he brick, but he paired into a matchup that he already had in the day and that I already had in the day. And it's just a bad matchup for us, apparently. I thought we had the tools to take down what inevitably took down first place, and I'm going to show you that deck now. So shout out to Nive, and let's move on to the first place deck here at Fortuna. And that deck, of course, is Brittany's Amethyst Emerald Diablo bird deck. It's just a whole aviary of problematic birds that we've talked about on this video series, the entire set championship, and local meta reports. Like, it's just been very prevalent, very, very good. She pilots it so well. No need to change anything, because I think she's top cut in every single set championship that she's played in. Very, very good. Very, very happy to see her finally get that championship mat there at Fortuna. Her matchups of the day were twice against me and twice against Nive. She drew the 4th round to get in the top cut, and the first match, I think she played Vince, who would have been on Sapphire Ruby. But yeah, her matchup into Jaflurple 4 times in the day, even against a better player like Nive, we couldn't get it done. It's like it's been the bane of my existence this entire set championship. I kept joking with her that we're rivals. We've been rivals this set because, I have the tools, and I've taken 1 round on her out of all the times that we've played, and they've always been decisive matches where you get in the top cut or not, at Grapes, at Bodex, and I couldn't get it done. Even with a big head start, the deck just finds a way to work its way back in, and she knows that line, and she plays it very, very well. Very good deck. Congratulations to Brittany. I'm really kind of excited to see how this deck evolves in the future, because it's a pain to deal with, but very, very good. Congratulations, Brittany. We will see you in the next set championships. All right, moving on to the third deck of the day, and the first of what will be many Ruby Sapphire decks. We are now at Fantasy Books in Belleville, where Tom took down an 8-person tournament with a Ruby Sapphire Pop deck, is what he calls it. Set Champs RB Pop. It is everything you expect in the Ruby Sapphire Shark deck, loaded up on sharks. All these actions. How many actions does he have here? 4, 8, 12, 14, 18, 24, 28 actions here that activate that shark. 1 lore per action, and all the control that he needs with the Sisus, the Goofies, the one of Goofy to surprise you with a 2 lore swing there, and Hades to remove the cards, just hard removal for problematic cards that are out there. Maui, of course, hero to all. Coming out crashing into anything that is problematic and sideways. But yeah, he got it done in a 8-person tournament, and so no top cut whatsoever, just 3 rounds. It was his last chance to get one, so very, very happy that he got that championship mat, because like he told me in the DMs, it was his last chance, and he couldn't have been happier to pull off that win. I do not have his matchups. I believe he had a mirror match with Lucas, which we will see later on, spoiler alert, with another Ruby Sapphire deck. But yeah, congratulations to Tom. Surprised to see him off of the Ruby Amethyst that I've always known him to be on. But, sometimes it's nice to switch it up. Ruby Sapphire gets it done once again. Congratulations to Tom. We will see you in the next one. All right, moving on to Unique Emporium over in Melville. We have Jimmy at the top of the list with a Ruby Amethyst deck. First and second place, Rules of Villainies owns Jimmy and Kristen. Congratulations to you guys. Jimmy has been bouncing around from different decks throughout the entire set, and doesn't matter what you put in front of him, he can find a way to win with it. And Ruby Amethyst has been a surefire bet since the beginning of the game. This one is looking more like the evasive deck that popped up about a month ago that has been very, very problematic with the Shadow Finder Peter Pan, a villain of the week here, formerly at the Rules of Villainy, and bringing out that Iago. Given that Iago, that 4/6 rush is just abusive. He's only got one of them, but it's still such a mean combo that gets things done. I do love the inclusion of this 2-drop Lumiere. He brought me a lot of success and bonus strength that I needed for the Ruby Fossa win that I won last set. Lumiere was a key component in striking back with my characters to get things off the board favorably. But looking at this list, it's Ruby Amethyst with the Shark Recursion, the Shark coming out with Rush. Sharks shouldn't have Rush, half Sharks even, from the Peter Pan. He can come out, swing into something, get back a Pirate's Life or a Friends, or likely has something else on the board. Even Peter Pan. If Peter Pan's on the board, he's coming out with Rush, swings into something, then Peter Pan can sing Friends. So there's your card draw. It's absolutely insane. A great combo. And it finds success. It's been bouncing around here in the St. Louis area for a while. A couple key Ruby Amethyst players have found success with it, and Jimmy is up there with them now too. So I don't know what else to say about it. Ruby Amethyst has been around for a long time, and with rotation coming up, I'm really curious what it's going to evolve into, because of the cards that have been revealed for Ruby Amethyst in the past couple sets is a lot of damage moving and such. So the bounce package may not get reprinted. This is a conversation for another time, but really curious to see what this deck becomes. And I've already seen some early testing examples of the moving damage that interest me quite a bit. So I've been saying it for a while. I might be back on Ruby Amethyst at some point, and maybe I'll start here with Jimmy's deck. So congratulations again to you, Jimmy. Probably your final set championship of the weekend. So glad you got there. All right, moving on to Impact Gaming Center over in Fairview Heights, Illinois. We had an 11-person tournament taken down again by Ruby Sapphire, but this time it's super exciting to me because it was by a 10-year-old named Aiden, who has been a very, very good player here in the St. Louis community for a while. Andy here on the Rules of Villainy podcast talks about the games that he's had with the kids over on the Illinois side. Said that's no easy feat. These kids are really, really good, and Aiden proved it here with a Ruby Sapphire deck. Congratulations to him. It's got a pretty standard Ruby Sapphire that we've seen here. My favorite card in the game, and it has been since set 2, is the Scar Vicious Cheater card. He's running a 1 of it. I think it's so pretty. The art by Nicholas Cole, fantastic. I'm gonna get it signed one of these days. I gotta find him. He needs to come to an event, but yeah, he takes it down. A couple of the matchups here that really excited me, especially why I'm mentioning that Scar, is against a hyper aggro deck. He says it was a Ruby Ruby Amber hyper aggro, which is really interesting to me. I'd love to see that deck. But he took out 6 characters at one time with that Scar, and it absolutely, that's what that Scar is meant to do. You got the popsicles to heal him up. Another clutch item that Scar doesn't need unless you want the challenger on him is the Vitalosphere, which was a very, very good card for him throughout the day, I'm told by his father here in the DMs on Discord. But yeah, found his way into Top Cut. I do not have all of the matchups. I think they did the Top Cut outside of Melee for some reason. I think there were some hiccups that didn't allow them to progress the tournament from there. But he found a way to the top, and I'm sure they were all great matches, and he piloted it very well. So take a look at this deck, get some ideas from it, because Aiden's the coach now. he's telling you how this is the deck that is the best deck, and I can't wait to see how it evolves in the next set, and I'm sure we will see him on here again. So congratulations again, bud. All right, moving on to Wizards Wagon here in St. Louis proper. We have Ace once again with Rage Quit, which is exactly what I want to do when I run into these dang birds every time. Every time we got an emerald amethyst bird deck that is just oppressive. You got your peak Diablo, you got your shift Diablo, you got your draw Diablo, you got your challenger evasive Diablo, let alone the Peter Pan Shadow Finder giving Iago evasive. 18 birds that just come out and absolutely wreck your day. It's like a Hitchcock movie over here. What did I say? 13 people at Wizards Wagon. This was the top deck. And again, it's been so good in the area here. You would think that after all these weeks that I would tech against it. But alas, even if I did, I probably wouldn't get far. And I'm not trying to take anything away from the people playing them. I love these guys, and I love them finding success with this deck. It's just so menacing. Uh, what else can I say? If you're new to the channel, this is a deck that I've talked about for weeks. For weeks, it's been on here probably nearly every episode, whether it be set championships or our local meta reports. But yeah, it just comes out, it gets board control. He looks for that Diablo for the draw, and then he discards your hand with a little discard he has with Sudden Chill and Hypnotize. And we don't talk about Bruno is a card that really, really stinks when you only have one card on board and no cards in hand. But yeah, it gets the job done. It starts its presence, it shifts, and it just one by one picks apart your hand and quests its way to 20. And couldn't find a better pilot behind it than Ace and Brittany that we talked about earlier. So congratulations to Ace here at Wizards Wagon, and we will see you again soon. All right, moving on to our second to last deck of the day is another Ruby Sapphire, this time by Rules of Villainy Zone, Villain Andy, over in Farmington, Missouri at Gamers Bazaar. 14 people in the tournament this time, top 4 cut. He gets there all the way with a Ruby Sapphire Shark deck. Again, like we counted with the items or the actions earlier, he's 28 items. Half of his deck almost is all actions, and that's totally fine when you have a shark that can come out and recur them. In fact, on Saturday when I played him in Fortuna, this tournament was on Sunday. At Fortuna, in my last round of Swiss against him, the reason why he took game 2 was because he had 2 sharks on board and realized he could go from 10 to 20 just recurring actions. I made the big mistake. I think I was at 18 lore, and I made a big mistake of exerting both characters that they could challenge into recur their 1 cost develop your brains or their 2 cost visions of the future. He was actually digging for a B prep for my very wide board for win, but then realized, hey, I can just keep playing these actions and win the game. And that he did. 2 lore at a time, 2 sharks is massively painful. In fact, he told me that on this specific tournament, he got triple sharks out there at one point, and I'm like, no way. That's when I walk away. I don't need to see these half sharks coming out here and just destroying my love of this game. That's a little bit egregious. I still love the game. But the real card I really wanted to point out here was Beagle Boys. A little bit of spice he threw in here. Whenever this card quests, a character of yours gains rush and resist +1 for this turn. So another way to give that shark rush besides the Vitalosphere, which he's not actually running here. So Yeah, great job by Andy. One of Vanellope, which is another card that I saw on Saturday. It comes out with Rush and Evasive on until the start of your next turn. So a little bit of protection there after that initial onslaught of the Rush 3/3. But yeah, very, very good deck. Of course, he's running Pirate's Life. I would be remiss not to mention that because he knows that is my least favorite card in the game. But I understand why it's there for the early onslaught that Ruby Sapphire takes from Hyper Aggro and such. So congratulations to Andy. Well deserved. This is a trip he and other teammates take every set for set championships and find success in that store. So congratulations to him. All right, our final set championship winner comes from GameUphoria out in Washington, Missouri on Sunday. 18-person tournament taken down by Lucas with a Ruby Sapphire DKP set 7 list. What can we say about this list that we haven't already? This is an action-heavy deck that is intending to get those manners down on the board, to tick away at the clock while you try to deal with it, and he be prepared your board. If that doesn't come to fruition, he has so many ways to gain lore through actions with the shark on board, of course, and scry through his deck with Develop, Sail, Vision of the Future. How Far I'll Go lets him do both that and Ink at the same time, let alone Pirate's Life, which is just such a mean lore swing and a card that I just absolutely dread and love seeing get inked at the beginning of the game because they don't want to see it on turn one, but ultimately is such a pain to come out and just take the game away from you. Lucas piloted this incredibly well to an undefeated win throughout 5 rounds of Swiss and 3 rounds of Top Cut. He played Ruby Steel 2-0, Steel Song 2-1, Birds 2-0 before IDing into the Top Cut with round 4 and round 5. First seed in the Top Cut, he played Birds again, Ace, who we saw just a little bit ago, couldn't get it done. And then Ace's wife, another Birds deck, apparently. They're running their own Aviary now, both running Birds. And Lucas found a way through both of those into a mirror match in the finals, which I believe was card for card DKP list, and took that down 2-0. It is a fantastic deck, as I'm sure anybody watching this has seen before. DKP is a prominent and well-renowned I almost say character, but player in the Disney Lorcana community, finding great success with his Ruby Sapphire iterations that he's been on since the very beginning and nothing else. And Lucas found success with grabbing it, piloting it to a win in an 18-person field. So no easy feat. Congratulations to Lucas on being the last set championship winner here in St. Louis. That's it. That's all she wrote for the Archazia Island Set Championship season. It is now over, and we are a couple of days away from the reign of Jafar, which is really, really exciting. I want to thank everybody who's tuned in to these videos throughout the past month and the entire set for the local meta reports. This has been a really fun side gig from the Rules of Villainy podcast proper that I did all on my own and had a great time doing, and looking forward to doing it in the future as well. Thank you to everybody who submitted their decks too to allow me to do this week to week and for the set championships. I know the set championship season gets a little dodgy because you don't want people to have an advantage on what you're playing. So to everybody who submitted, thank you so much. I think we got nearly every single set championship deck here in St. Louis throughout the past 4 weeks, and I cannot thank you enough for doing that. If you are new here or just tuning in for the first time, welcome. I hope you like this video. If you want to see more videos like this, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and check out some of the other content. We have the podcast proper. We have Deck Test Tuesdays. I always say Deck Tech. I don't know why. Deck Test Tuesdays, and we do live events all the time and looking to do even more of those in the future. So stick around. We hope you have a good time. If you want to buy singles, we have an affiliate link in the video and in the description below for our affiliate link to get us a little bit of kickback on TCG Player. It costs you nothing. We just get a little bit of the revenue that TCG Player does. Appreciate anything and everything we get from that. If you want to keep a conversation going, we have a Discord and all the socials in the description below. Definitely come check that out. We have a Constituents Corner channel in the Discord even where you can ask questions and get them on the show and answered by us. And a lot of times a little inside baseball to those of you not on Discord, the question in the channel basically just becomes a whole conversation in itself. So regardless, we hope you check that out. And in the meantime, I'm going to have pictures of all the set championships, that all the pictures that I have currently, just kind of streaming in and out of this outro here. Hope you enjoy. Thank you again so much. Hope everybody had a good time in the set championships, and looking forward to the next one. So until then, happy questing.